call the meeting to order. The Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Pledge of Allegiance, we do the roll call. I've got Rob Kometz,
Present.
Steve DeYoung,
Present.
Ray Paradisio,
Present.
Rich Janowicz, me, I'm present, Adam Decker,
Present.
Fire Chief, I can't believe I did this,
It's a quiz. Come on.
Leduc, and Police Chief Flores.
Present.
I
Present.
think that's everybody.
Present.
Okay, I need approval for the April 19, 2021 minutes.
I'll approve. I'll second.
Okay, we have approval by Ray, second by Rob, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, monthly reports, Chief Leduc.
Thank you, sir. So in the month of April, we had a total of 108 patients we contacted. Of those 108 patients, 70 were transports. Of those 70% were transports. Of those 70%, 74 of those transports were, 74%, my goodness, were ALS 1s. Only 1% were ALS 2, and 25% were our BLS. Concerning resident versus non-resident, 63% of those 108 patients were residential patients, and 37% were non-residents. The hospitals are still equaling out for the most part on transports. We had 34% of our patients choose Franciscan Crown Point, 41% choose Franciscan Dyer, and then our next highest hospital was Munster Community. On the bottom are billing descriptions. The total amount generated was $81,137.30, and total monies received were $54,561.52. Regarding the fire side, we had a total calls of 144. Of those 144 calls, 2 were in the corporate limits of St. John with the Crown Point zip code. 4 were in the corporate limits of St. John with the Dyer zip code. The vast majority of our calls, 113, were in the town of St. John with the St. John zip code. 2 calls were in the town of St. John in the Cedar Lake zip code. 11 calls were in our contracted area of St. John Township. And then we had 12 calls for mutual aid, 5 of which were building fires. And that's all that I have.
Okay. Chief Flores?
Okay, from the April 1st, 2021 through April 30th, 2021, the members of the St. John Police Department logged 22,799 miles and responded to 531 law incidents. The investigation of these incidents led to 11 arrests with 19 charges being filed. There were 49 traffic citations issued along with 109 written warnings for a total of 158 citations being issued during the month. Vehicle thefts totaled 0. Other thefts totaled 91,300, and recovered property was 0. That theft, that 91,000, that was a huge chunk of that was that roost burglary that I was telling you guys about last meeting. The gentleman had a lot of valuable stuff stolen, so that's where a lot of that came from. We're actually working with a bunch of other Illinois agencies that have a case against this same crew. So we're hoping to build a pretty good case on them and get some charges filed. That's it.
Okay, new business, Chief Leduc in the hiring process?
Just want to we're still actively accepting applications for the position of firefighter EMT as our minimal. We have 10 current applications in. Application period closes on the 24th at 5 p.m. I did have some questions from people that are interested in applying, mainly people that are already in the 1977 fund PERF, which I called lateral transfers, wondering if they need to take the CPAT, the physical agility test. I mentioned to them that I'd have to ask you gentlemen that, so that is my new business. I want your opinion on if people should take the agility test as advertised.
Well, yeah, we've advertised it. I mean, we're not going to change the requirements now that I'm aware of unless someone else has a different opinion.
Nope. No, I would
Right.
agree. Keep the requirement.
Thank you for your direction, gentlemen. That's all that I had.
Okay, Chief Flores.
Okay, well, I only have one thing, which is the the towing proposals, that's coming up for the year, our annual proposals. Just wanted to announce that the publications will be made, the legal publications through the Times and the Post Tribune. They're scheduled to go out Friday, May 21st for that. And so once that happens, we'll be handing out the paperwork for the tow firms, whoever is interested. The deadline for those proposals to be turned back into my office will be Friday, June 4th at 4 p.m. And then the safety board will review those, open the proposals and review them at your June meeting, which is June 21st at 6 p.m. And hopefully July 19th at your meeting, we'll make the recommendation to the town council. And then July 28th, we're looking for approval from the town council on the recommendation for the safety board. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. That's coming up again this for the year. And a couple things that I had, this is probably a question for Mr. Decker. Instead of doing this annually, could this be every 2 years? I mean, it'd probably require council action, correct?
Right. Well, I believe it is possible to do it every 2 years, but I do think it would be appropriate to have that, well, first of all, the Board of Safety would need to certainly weigh in and review that, but I think the town council input would also be appropriate.
Okay. Yeah, so I was kind of exploring that, what your gentlemen, your thoughts are on this. I mean, we'll go with it, with the schedule we have now, but I think it's kind of a lot of work on these tow firms to be doing this every year. I mean, there's quite a bit of work that they gotta put into it with the packets and all that, so I don't know if that's something that you guys would be interested in doing, maybe entertaining the idea of 2 years instead of one.
I was gonna ask Chief, what was your recommendation? 2 years, 3 years?
I would say 2 would be
Let
sufficient.
me ask you this, how many times do we get new, it's pretty much the same group that,
Yeah, it's pretty much the same,
Group that
2 or
comes in
3 firms every
and-
year.
and the groups that come in that we pick are usually been doing this for some time?
Correct.
And I can't see any problem why we're making them go through this. If we're comfortable, if your department is comfortable with them and you're comfortable with them on a 2-year basis, I can't see any problem with it.
Okay,
I think a multi-year would be good. I remember last year we had a problem with some of them weren't completed
correct.
because I think that they had to go back and recomplete, which I'm not a big fan of. Once you turn in, if you don't have everything listed, you should have been out.
Right.
But let's make sure, a multi-year contract and make sure that they fill out the proposal correctly.
Okay,
Now, last year, I believe we went from 3 to 2?
correct.
Okay, and you're looking, your recommendation forward is to maintain 2 companies?
That's my recommendation, yes. Yes.
One question to back up here, Chief. You mentioned that we would review the contracts, but you reviewed them before, and we listened to your recommendations because you're familiar with the companies and any problems.
Yeah, we'll review them together here at the safety board. And then I could certainly I'll make my recommendation again to you as to what we would prefer and what we recommend.
So maybe what we'd like to do is we'll get them in like normal, but we could possibly, at the time of review, recommend to do a 2-year contract at that time, pending the approval of the town council. That way we're not revisiting it next year to extend it.
Right.
We
I
could pro-
think we'd have to do the 2-year contract up front, because if they're proposing, they're gonna wanna know.
Okay.
Yeah,
They're
I
going
think
out
that we're
2
gonna
years.
have to let this year go by and just let them know when we put it out next year that it's gonna be for a 2-year contract.
Is it possible, Adam, to put that out possibly for 2 years, pending council approval?
Or would you recommend just doing it the way we've been doing it and then change it for
Yeah.
next time?
My thought is that I would want to see what the legal advertisement, provides, if it specifically indicates it's for a 1-year
Right.
contract, and that's part of the bid packet, if you will, or that they're going to be picking up, then I would recommend that we probably do it for a year, and then if next year, when the process has begun, if the Board of Safety and the Town Council have approved a 2-year period, a 2-year contract essentially, then we would probably best do that next year to start
Okay.
the process. That's my thought.
That's fine. My only thing is God forbid the council says no, and we put it in the advertise that it's gonna be 2 years,
Right, I don't,
Yeah.
yeah, I think we should,
Move
keep it the way
forward.
it is now.
and then
And then-
moving forward.
Yep.
Okay.
2022, yeah.
But I think, would we probably still move forward with voting on that for maybe next year's?
Mhm.
Or, you
Proposal.
know, entertaining, that, at least bring it to the council's
Yep.
attention.
Right.
Okay. That's it, thank you.
That's it. Okay, public comment? Okay. You just want to state your name and address, please?
Suzanne Gonzalez, 1445 Autumn Drive in Crown Point. I'm from All Pro Towing, in case you didn't see it. We are reapplying this year. I know that last year went down to 2. We were previously a part of it. Chief Flores did state that it was no fault of our own. They just wanted to go down because the tows were down. But I do know that a lot of people are moving to the area. There's been a lot more activity. And we aren't looking to knock anybody off. We think that there's plenty of business for everybody. We just look forward to have a chance to serve the people of St. John again. I just want to confirm, are we not picking up the packets today?
No, no, we have to
Okay.
make the notice first in the paper, and then once we do that, then we'll hand them out.
Okay, so then we would just come back to the,
After the 21st of May, yeah, the packets will be ready,
okay,
yeah, and are at my office.
all right. Thank you
Okay.
very much, gentlemen.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, I need a motion to adjourn.
I'd like to, I'll just say happy EMS week to the paramedics,
We appreciate
fire
that.
department.
Thank you, guys.
And your EMTs, if they're, any of them are still EMTs or not, but happy EMS week.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Oh,
Thank you.
Before we do that, before we adjourn, I'd like to make a motion that we consider starting in 2022, going to a 2-year towing contract.
Okay, I have a motion for the, starting 2022 for a 2-year contract. Ray Paradiso, a second.
I'll second that.
Second by Rob. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, anybody else? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Rob, second by Steve. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Motion